6'9", physically imposing, left-footed centre-back. Have I found the answer to West Ham's defensive troubles? What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another video here on Hammers Chat. Me, Michael Levy Jr., joining you today. I've been mentioning this and this fella's name for a couple of weeks, but it's kind of been like a little Easter egg. It's kind of been hidden within the videos. And I've asked some of you to go away and have a little look at this chap I'm about to talk about. But I want to do a video today to really drive home the message, because if there's any way that this fella can be the answer, and if there's any way I can create a little bit of buzz or let the club at least know enough to go and have a look at French 22-year-old left-footed central defender Isaak Isaak Touré, spelt the same as Yaya Touré or Colo Touré. Listen, it's no surprise. I think you'll agree with me. We are defensively terrible. We are very vulnerable at the back. I think we've been, I'll be honest, I think we've been ripped off with Max Kilman. There's no way he's £40 million worth of player. I think Todibo is another one. I think they've seen us coming. The fella's never fit, barely completes 90 minutes. We know he has an injury from an accident, an incident when he was a child. He's got one, literally, I'm not joking, he's got one leg longer than the other. And his attitude seems wrong. He's already fell out with two managers. There's been rumours of him literally having fisticuffs with Julian Lopetegui. And, you know, when you see his attitude, how laid back he is, he doesn't give it for the club. I think we all agree there's a problem defensively. I think the biggest problem with the centre of our defence at the moment is the lack of people that can head the ball, clearing the ball away. We are shocking facing corners and facing set pieces. We are shocking aerially. The only one that can arguably get their nut on things is Mavropanos, and he's now unfortunately out for a few weeks. Even just to drift off a minute, even in the fullback position, I don't know how many people have actually put it together that if Ollie Scholes is out, as suspected now for a few weeks, with Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Malik Diouf going away to AFCON, that's going to leave us with one fullback, Walker Peters. So defensively, we've got a massive problem. And I put it to you that what we need is a no-nonsense centre-back, someone aerially dominant, someone physically dominant, a leader, someone who could galvanise our backline, galvanise our squad. We need a Craig Dawson-style player. But I know what you're thinking. Why not Craig Dawson? Well, Craig Dawson was a brilliant servant to us. We all underestimated him. And he came in and did a heck of a job. But, you know, with due respect to him, there's a reason that he's been let go from Wolves. And going back to the likes of Dawson, going back to the likes of Fabianski, who is a club legend and serves a purpose, but now is also out with a back injury for the foreseeable future. Going back to the likes of Antonio, whose days have gone. This is the wrong kind of thinking for West Ham. And it comes back, in my opinion, to this mentality, this warfare that they do on us, the West Ham ownership. They set our expectations so low that anything else, any other option looks like a good option. You know, if you're starving and somebody throws you a cracker, that cracker looks delicious, you know? So I think rather than be going back and looking at players of old, we need to be looking at the next aerial dominating, no-nonsense, organised central defender. So I put my case to you today. 6'9" monster. He currently plays for FC Lorient. I'll say the name again, Isaak Touré. Yeah, for anyone who's not onto this fella yet, remember you heard it here first from Michael Levy Jr. Look, listen, I'm not a prophet. I'm not Nostradamus. I don't know if this guy's going to go on to have the career that I think he will, but I really suspect he will. Left-footed, 6'9", absolute monster, wins everything in the air. He's also tactically astute, can play several different styles, can bring the ball out like a Rio Ferdinand and progress the ball up the pitch. He's got pace, Aguerd-style pace to get back, which means we can play a higher line and we don't need to be sitting on the edge of our own 18-yard box, yeah, and being pinned back now. This lad seems like the real deal. I've looked on transfer market. He's actually going on their transfer market valuation for 3 million, not pounds, euros. 3 million euros. Now, look, I will grant you, maybe he's not the finished article. Well, he's definitely not the finished article. Maybe he's not ready for right now. Maybe he won't come in and turn our season around. Maybe he's an 18-month project, the same as Diouf. And maybe he's someone we need to look at in the summer. But even if you got him in now, for that money, if FC Lorient would let him go, for that money, I think it's worth a punt. Just for the fact that he organises, he's physically strong, he's a fighter, he's one of them that will get in the scrap, get in the referee's face. We don't have that. We don't have that in our squad at all. We don't have that leadership and physical presence. We don't have the captain in Bowen that's sort of in your face. Even if he comes in and he can shore us up defensively from corners and free kicks. Even if he does come in and he can get 3 to 5 goals from our own set pieces. I mean, the geezer's enormous. He's massive. Go and have a look at him. But certainly, these are the sort of players we need to be looking at for the future. I think gone are the days where we go and spend 40 million on a Max Kilman, 35 to 38 million, depending on what reports you believe about Jean-Claire Todibo. Surely we should be looking at these players, 22 years of age. So that's the first thing. Let me know about that. I'll just deviate a minute and just ask you. And this is not a paid video, of course, but I would just ask you if you like what the chaps do over here on Hammers Chat, do consider going to join up to Patreon. I myself have a show on there alongside friends Gatesy and Sat. We do a weekly sort of fanzine called Overland and C-Word, where we talk all things West Ham, and we actually bring, when they want to, some of the Patreons of Hammers Chat on to the channel to sort of have their say, have their shout. So do consider joining up, as well as plenty of other content if you like what they do. We have obviously match reactions. We have over there player ratings. We have opposition previews. We have Babbling Irons. We have the Naked podcast, which is everyone fully clothed, but it's basically Gio and Gonzo talk about things other than football-related West Ham topics. So there's been some really great conversations on there, and it's a little bit of light relief from the doom and gloom. So look, I'm sure whoever uploads this, whether it be Gio or Gonzo, they'll stick a link for Patreon in the description. And I do believe they're actually doing a 7-day free trial at the moment. So if you're not sure, you can try before you buy. You can nip over there, have a look at the podcast I'm involved in, have a look at the rest of the content over there. There's also, not to mention, giveaways, prizes, raffles, the prediction competition. I myself won recently. Where are we? Where's the wife put it? It's down here somewhere. I recently won a signed Paolo Di Canio shirt. So that was lovely. That was from the Predicting the Scoreline last season, West Ham Leicester. So I picked the first goal scorer and I picked the final score, and I managed to win that Di Canio shirt. So yeah, look, if you fancy that, give it a little go. Just a thank you, as always. Gonzo said to me he'd like me to start doing more of these videos on a regular, a bit more of a regular basis, because it's really down to you guys. The love and the reception I get in the comments is absolutely first class. So hand on heart, thank you so much, everybody that watches and comments. We always have a nice, respectful conversation with each other. I will reply and read every comment because I'm humbled that you'd even listen to my opinion as a West Ham fan. So look, long may that continue. Just to do my last little bit of YouTube admin, please consider giving this video a like. If you can spare a hype, please scroll to one side and hype the video so that I get the lads some views. And do consider subscribing. Subscription's really the wrong kind of wording, because it makes it sound like you're signing up to like a pay-as-you-go kind of program. It costs absolutely nothing. It's just a case of putting your email address in, or if you're already signed up with a YouTube account, the same way you might have a Facebook account, you just click the button, the subscribe button, and hit the bell. That way you never miss a video, whether it be me or Gonzo or Gio or so on. So do consider doing that. But listen, I'd like some of you to go and let me know what you think. Is this 6'9" left-footed monster, physically opposing monster that's going to get his head on absolutely everything, both boxes, is he the answer for us? I'm also going to try and look in the next video, or maybe next week, about about centre-forward options. Because I've said before, I think if we can still be in touch come January, when the transfer window opens, if we can still be in touch with the rest of the pack at the bottom, and we're not totally cut adrift, I think our season hinges. I think it's paramount. It hinges on a no-nonsense centre-back that can actually head the ball. And I think I've unlocked the answer there in Isaak Touré. And I think we need a pacey centre-forward that's going to contribute goals and stretch defences. So I'm going to go and have a little look if there's anyone in the free. This is the market we're shopping in now, such as our desperation. I'm going to go and have a look in the free agents market. Another idea might be some of the fringe players in the better clubs, maybe the sort of Sky Sports greedy six clubs. If there's anyone there that's not quite getting a look in, perhaps we might go in and get one of their centre forwards on loan, and also consider international players as well. With the World Cup looming, there's possibly some players out there, centre forwards, that are going to want to go in a team and try to get their way into their respective national team squads. I think the only fly in the ointment with that is, will many people want to come to West Ham with the current state of affairs and the current vibe? Will many people want to come and roll their sleeves up and have a relegation battle with us? Because I think ultimately that's where we're going to be this season. Not to be too negative, but just realism. I think we're at least going to be in and around the bottom three. So will many people want to do that? And the other thing is, the difficult thing is, with a centre forward, you're not exactly getting an abundance of chances. You're not really getting service as a centre forward. So this chap over my shoulder, 55 games now without an assist. I think it's maybe time to give him a rest. But at time of recording, of course, this may go up after Newcastle's game. I don't know. But let's hope he's made me look foolish and he scored that trick and set 2 up, but we've won 5-0. But who knows? Look, you know, we certainly need to sort out a few things at West Ham. I think if I had to pin my colours to the mast, I think we need a no-nonsense defender that can nut the ball away and also be a threat in the opposition box. I think we need a centre-forward that can be a bagsman and hit the mark, find the back of the net and stretch defences and just give us some movement so we're not just camped. I've said it before, with the immobility of Fulkrug, who's injured again, and Wilson, defences can just take such a high line and push up to almost our centre circle, which is just keeping us pinned in our own half. You know, you need somebody that's going to turn those defenders around and give a threat behind, give them something to think about. And the third thing, I think we really need to find from somewhere a leader. And I don't know if we've got that within our ranks already. I don't know if that's someone we need to bring in January. Let me know in the comments. I think some of you have suggested Alvarez, but I would suggest perhaps that his legs have gone even a bit from when he first came to us. I think he's slow. There's question marks perhaps over his attitude. Look, I love a player. I won't speak for all of us. I love a player that can kick someone up in the air, get a yellow card. I was brought up on Julian Dix, but so I don't mind that. But the game has changed, and he has at times proved to be a liability. Casting point the Chelsea game where he needlessly got sent off last season. So yeah, I think we're desperate for 3 things: a no-nonsense centre-back, a centre-forward that's got a bit of pace and can stretch defences, and we need a leader. Let me know what you think. Go and do your little amateur scouting, your little bath time scouting thing. I might even see if the gents will stick a link in the description to Isaak Touré. But go on, I know before you shout at me, I know that YouTube isn't everything, but that's just how I'm able to show you. I've actually asked Gonzo over on Patreon again. He occasionally does a video, amateur scout. So he'll go and take a player, and Gio and Gonzo, the guys at Amateur Chat, have actually got access to Wise Scout, and they can go on there and look at the stats, look at the clips, look at the defensive positions, look at the progressive passes, so on and so on. So I've actually asked Gonzo to go and actually do a video focusing pinpoint on Isaak Touré. So, if he does that, we can have a deeper look at it. But I just really feel, like he's the type of player that we need. I don't think he's unattainable. The only worry that someone did say to me recently, which is a good point, is FC Lorient have actually got like a partnership, a relationship with Bournemouth. So don't be surprised if you see Isaak Touré turning up at Bournemouth and smashing it at Bournemouth. But if we can get in quick for that price tag, even if we pay 5, 8, 10 million euros and we go and get him out of Lorient, I really think he's one for the future. But not only that, I think he can make an impact right now. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you always as always, for watching and your lovely comments. Let me know what you think we need. Let me know what you think of Isaak Touré, and I'll speak to you soon. Come on, you Irons.